Hey guys, it's postboxadd and welcome back to another video on the prison server. And today I'm just going to be going over some of the stuff that we've kind of been working on the prison server and why we haven't been on the prison server, and just showing you guys what the prison server is in general if you've never seen any of the other videos. So basically what the prison server is, there's a few different game modes within the prison server. You've got the shop, which unfortunately isn't open at the moment. You've got the hall of all the people who have actually passed the challenges. Then you have the mini game over here, which we're not going to be playing right now, which is called Breakout, which is a really awesome mini game. It's where one of us or two of us play as guards and you guys have to escape the prison by working as a team. Unfortunately, that is pretty difficult to record because I can't record audio on the Xbox One perfectly. However, the main one is Prison Run, and inside of here there are 4 challenges which have currently been opened and the others are being worked on. One is called Trailblazer, the other one's called Maze Mayhem, and let's see what these names are. This one over here is Puzzle Muddle, and the one over here is Mind Boggle. So these are like little challenges where you have to do and you have to complete the challenges to get to the next stage. So I'm not going to go through all the challenges because there's quite a few, and also we have the dropper level, which is coming soon as well, which Project Flame is working on. I'll show you guys this anyway just for now, while the other guys can do either. Let's just set everyone on the same challenge so we can go over it. Let's see if anyone can do Mind Boggle, not Mind Boggle, Puzzle Muddle, sorry. Let's see if people can do Puzzle Muddle. Let's see if you guys can do this one. Basically, this one is an invisible maze. So, for now, I'm going to show you guys the upcoming challenge and show you an overview of the map as well, so you can see kind of how the structure is. So, let's just do the overview of the map. So, as you can see, we've got all the different challenges going through. You can see all the different stages to each challenges. You can see which ones go underground, which ones are on top of the ground, and you can see the droppers over there which are being built. The hardest one is definitely the one that everyone is on right now. Personally, I think that is probably the hardest, and it isn't 100% complete yet, but we've almost completed it. Once we've done this end bit, I think I'm going to put the ending there. Usually each challenge has between 4 and 5 challenges within it. However, that one is extremely hard due to the extremely difficult part at the start, so probably I'm going to put the end of the challenge very soon on that, as soon as I've completed that. And then also with the droppers, we're going to have about 5 to 6 droppers. Once you've completed all the different droppers, then you'll get the end. The dropper is going to be quite an easy one. It's not going to be too difficult, but the last dropper is going to be pretty hard. And as again, you cannot set your spawn on the droppers, so that's a little bit of a problem, as you won't be able to set your spawn because privileges will not be on. We do have beds anyway for admins and hosts and stuff, but personally, unless we're doing a video, we won't be allow people to set their spawn, so that's going to be a little bit of a shame. I don't think you can set spawn without privileges, which is kind of annoying, but I suppose it's the way the challenge is. That's why we only have 6 or 5 dropper effects. And then yeah, that's going to be it for the dropper one. As you can see, I'll show you guys the first dropper one. This one here is just simply a little bit of parkour just to warm you up for the dropper. Basically, you come in, you get here where I am right now, and you just kind of jump across over to this one. You just get that jump right, jump to here, and I believe you have to jump to that one, and you can jump into the dropper, and you are in the dropper, and all you got to do is land in the water, which is pretty easy to do if you can get in the water. So once you're in the first dropper, there you go. That just gives you a little taste for what's coming. Then you've done the first one, and you go up the ladder, back up to the next dropper, and there are beds there, like I said, though only admins and hosts can use them, unfortunately. And then in here there's going to be another dropper type thing where you got to jump down and land in it, and they can make them more difficult. So the droppers are pretty interesting, and you can make them quite difficult. I've actually played a dropper map in the past. I can't remember who it was who I played that dropper map on, but it was a really awesome map. I think it may have been Epic Vader Dog, I believe, actually. We did play on him. But actually, we are being joined by some of the subscribers today. You can see them inside the maze down here. They're all running around like mad. We're actually being joined by Daft Bus. We're being joined by Project Flame, Busted Cow 509, Pyrex Demon, I think that is, and Kid 34. I think that's everyone within here. Let me just make sure we check on the lobby just in case anyone's gone a different one. Yeah, that is everyone in the lobby right now. And as again, the server is on open. We also have Skyline Bad as well, if I didn't mention him. I think I did. And then yeah, that's everyone in the lobby right now. And the server usually is on open, but today's been a very quiet day as it is only a Tuesday when I'm recording this video, so there ain't that many people online. And I have been trying to get some of you guys in. If you have been getting invites off me, or you've been getting invites off a random guy called Wide Singer 2, that is my gamer tag. I have been inviting quite a few people who are online, but unfortunately they just seem to be watching TV and stuff, so if you missed out and got an invite, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I did invite about 20 people, and unfortunately only these guys join. And we did have a few people in before, like Jackie Boy and people, but they just couldn't connect for some reason because there's been a few issues with Xbox lately. But as you can see, this challenge is actually going quite well for some. Some of them are getting quite far into the challenge. Daft Boss has probably got the furthest, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. The others are getting pretty stuck, pretty back. But Daft Boss is on the right route. The carpet on the floor, by the way, guys, is meant there to mislead you. So if you are looking at that carpet, that is there to mislead you, unfortunately. Some of the carpets do help slightly. Some of the patterns in the carpets, the black ones especially, just to give you a little clue, the black ones, some of the black ones do actually help with some of the structures to do with the way to go, but not all of them. Some of them do, some of them don't, and the shapes are just there really to confuse you, so you don't know which ones are the right and which ones are the wrong. And there are actually death points, certain points on it, so if you do give up, which it can get quite frustrating, it's more chance of getting to a death point than the exit, which is pretty awesome. So you can actually give up on this challenge. And then the next challenge as well, I believe the next one as well is the same sort of thing, but it's a lot easier. It's just not as much. I'm not going to do it, but it's a lot easier to do the next one. That is definitely a lot easier. And then the next one after that, you actually drop down, and I believe, if I am correct, do you remember me? Do you remember the colours? So that's something to do with a memory test. You drop down here, and you have to remember the colours from above, and then it's pretty cool. So that's going to be pretty awesome. People to try out that as well. Then once you get the colours right, you can go through to the next stage. And again, we will switch up the colours just to confuse you guys a little bit. We might put a sign at the top saying reverse the colours, or put the colours in brightest to darkest, or maybe something like that, or a different type of block maybe, or something like that, which makes it a little bit more interesting for you guys. And yeah, that's basically it for the challenge section of the prison server. Now the prison server, unfortunately, because it isn't exactly a server, it has to be hosted by the host. It's not open all the time because I don't really have time to sit on the prison server every single day, leaving it open, because it can get very busy. However, I do open up the server probably about 5 to 6 times, maybe about 10 times, depending on what month it is. I do open it up quite a lot in the month, or in between 2 weeks. Usually about 6 days out of 2 weeks, so it's quite a lot of the prison server, but unfortunately we don't really stay on it for too long. We do a little bit on it, do a little bit of work, and then go off it, because it can get a little bit boring building around and just not doing too much on the server, but it is really fun to record on. So, like I said, there's just tons of things to do. The maze challenges are awesome. The minigame over here is awesome. I don't think I've actually showed off much of this minigame, so I'll show you guys kind of how it works. Basically, we do play this quite a bit, actually, when we get extremely bored. We do suddenly just invite everyone to the party and explain what this is. Basically, what it is you will actually get privileges first, because I won't save it, and you'll enter here, and there'll be 2 guards. So me and Tommy Newcomb usually play the guards, and everyone else has to play in the prison cells. And basically what the aim is, we kind of play it like a real life situation. You guys have been prisoners for a couple of years, and you have to try and escape from the prison. And what we do is we take maybe 2 of you out to go and get some food or something, or go to the classroom and learn some stuff. Even though you don't actually do that, you just go and sit here and get some food. But the aim for you guys to do that is trying to run away while that's going on without getting killed or locked up for a longer time. So you kind of have to sneak out and sneakily do stuff and kind of just wander around and let people out of the cells, which can get quite hard, unfortunately, because it can be hard with 2 guards. But it is definitely possible, because we don't sit and camp out the exit. And then once you've done that, you have to get the fire exit open so you can actually escape. And to do that, you open up this door and flick that lever there, and then the gate becomes open, and then you can escape. But don't close the lever, or we can't get out as a guard. You can actually trap the guards behind there. It is actually a tactic that if one of the guards has run out and you manage to trap him there, the other guard has to let him out, which can cause a lot of time bad to you guys. It gives you a lot more time. But unfortunately, if you do try and escape and the guard does catch you, do expect the guard not to let you out of the prison cell for a good 5 to 10 minutes, because it can take a while. And once you have escaped, you have to do this crazy maze. It's not that hard, to be honest. It's quite an easy maze, and it's made to help you guys escape and made for the guards to escape as well. I believe the maze is possible. I think it is possible. At the moment, actually, the maze, someone has accidentally blocked it up, so I will unblock the maze from a certain angle. Let's think of which angle we can unblock it from. Maybe we'll do the maze from... Should we have the exit? Where should we have the exit? Should we have the exit here? Yeah, we'll have the exit right here. This is quite a cool spot for the exit, so if we put the exit in here, then we'll just put some more walls in. Let me grab some more leaves. You know, one thing that I really think should be in Minecraft Xbox? Dyeable leaves. That would be really awesome if you could dye leaves So that just make the game a lot better. So let me just change up the maze slightly. You guys are kind of getting a peek if you do play the minigame, but it's kind of cool. So we just change it up a little bit so you can find the exit. And then when you do get to the exit, that is it. You have escaped the maze and you did manage to escape. And you run through here and fireworks should shoot up. There you go. The fireworks get shot up like that. And then when you get here, you've just got a little bit of fun to do on the parkour. Now we were actually going to make this parkour. This is kind of like the escape as well. You've kind of escaped the prison. There's like a war going on or something, or a massive like prison break. Everyone else is trying to escape and all the guards are kind of loose around, and your aim is to try and escape across this section and get across this quite difficult parkour. But there are a few glitches you can do, which I don't mind people doing if you do find the glitches, because that's kind of part of it. And once you get across here, and the same up here, you have to climb this and climb the rocket as well, get across the rocket by using keys and stuff. Bear in mind, for this one you do get privileges. It's the only one on the map where you'll have privileges. And then again for this last one, I think this lever actually, what does this lever do? I think it opens the door, does it? Yes, it does. I think it opens that door. Does it open the door? Yeah, that's for people going backwards. And then in here, you actually get a lever to put on that wood there so you can open up. And then when you're in here, you just got to do this last parkour, which can get pretty difficult. I think I can do it, though. Let's see if we can do it. I haven't done parkour in a while, to be honest, on Xbox. So let's see if we can manage to do this parkour here. So it's pretty easy to do. It's only a simple little parkour. It's quite hard if you're not the best at parkour, if you haven't done it in a while like me. But you can see I'm doing okay with it. I only missed one jump. So it is definitely possible, that parkour, which can be pretty easy for any parkour pros. Usually I'm pretty good at parkour, but not today. But yeah, these guys are actually doing quite well in this maze. It's pretty impressive. Busted Cow's got a quite good distance. I think he's on the right track there. I think Daft Boss is slightly on the wrong track. I can't remember the exact route for this maze. I have done it in the past a few times myself, but it does take some time. It is a very difficult maze, and it can be very difficult and very frustrating because you don't know where you're going. It's just an invisible wall. Daft Boss seems to be having a bit of a breakdown in there. Do you want me to kill you, Daft Boss? No, he doesn't want to give up. He doesn't want to give up. But yeah, it is pretty difficult, and it can be. Do you want to get out, Busted Cow? Oh, no, none of these want to get out. They all just finding it a little bit difficult. It can get pretty difficult. It is quite a difficult challenge to do, and I do agree with that. And people want to play the minigame, but unfortunately we don't have time to play the minigame right now. And hopefully one day we'll actually get a recording of the minigame and try and get a recording of it. But it can be quite difficult if there's 8 people in the party or in like a call or on Skype or something. And it can get a little bit crowded, so maybe we might lower the people down to 7. I'll just guard and get 1. And get 5, maybe 6 people or something, just so you guys can experience what it's kind of like to play it, because it is really fun to play, and we have played it quite a lot with a lot of subscribers. We probably played it with about 500 people, which is quite a lot of people to get through in a short amount of time, and the amount of people who actually want to play on the server. But I hope you guys do try and get on the server and do try and join. There are a few things for you to get on this server. A couple of ways of getting on the server is by messaging my main account, WideSinger2, and my other account, postboxadd. Now they're the usual ways I do it. Today I've actually got the people in the server to add people on the server right now, which I don't mind you guys doing. 2 of the main people you can add if you wanted to is Daft Bus and Skyline Blad, and even if you wanted to, you could add Project Flame. You can see their gamer tags briefly there. But the main places for you guys to add places are add WideSinger2 and postboxadd. You can see them on the side, the sign right there on the side of the sign, and they are right there. So yeah, if you add them, they are in the description as well. Just search them into your Xbox home and you will get them, and you'll be able to add them and come and join on the server. The postboxadd one is the keyest though. That is what I usually do when I'm offline on my own, coming on the server, just inviting 7 random people. I usually come on, get postboxadd and sign into it, get it on the server, add about 6 people, then sign out and get the last person to add one of the people so they can connect as well. And that's how we kind of do it without me adding tons of people every day, because it can get pretty hectic if my friends list gets really full. I've already got 200 friends and it is very hard to get through them to the bottom of them, especially with them people when they're always appearing offline at the bottom. It can get very frustrating. So 200 people is probably about the limit for me, unfortunately. I don't want to get it too much full, my friends list. It's very, very full. But postboxadd, that is my friends list as well, so I'll be able to get you on there because that's full, and I don't always use that account. I only use it to getting people in the parties and games, which is awesome, and for replying to messages. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and once again, if you do want to join the prison server, don't forget to check out the accounts in the description. And once again, this is postboxpat, signing out.